reverse order. We're going to start with the humerus and then work our way down to the forearm. And then the last views we'll show you will actually be the humerus on the table. So you'll see the tabletop as well standing. Okay? Alright, so for the humerus upright, what is the SID?
40.
40. Am I at 40?
No. No. Yes. Yes.
40?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you sure about 40?
It's behind it, right?
And that's 40. Alright. So I'm at 40 SID, I'm in D10, which means I'm directly in front of my butt. Now the only thing I have to do is make sure I'm aligned, because I have my cassette lengthwise, and now I'm just going to open it up to that. Good. Close that in. I'm going to have Brian, who was working on this truck. I don't know what happened. The truck fell on me. The jacks. So his right shoulder hurt, or his right arm. So I'm going to have him come on in, the verification and all the good stuff. I'm going to shield him right off the jump. So I'm bring my shield over. I'm going to say, Brian, I want you to bring your hand down to your side, palm up. Yes. Stand nice and tall. Ah, yes. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to actually bring it down so that my centering is now mid-shaft. Good. And now I have a light above his shoulder, an inch. I'm going to say, Brian, side step for me. No, just side step.
Oh, this is...
Yes. And I'm going to bring that down. Bam. Stand nice and tall. Good. Over just a little bit. Because I have a shadow, actually, tighten that up. Here's his shoulder. If I was to take a spike and push it through his glenoid fossa and straight through, his shoulder would be here. Which means I still have like an inch or two that I can play with. So let's say I bring it down just a little bit. And bring that down to line it back up. I have his shoulder. I have a shoulder here, and now I have his elbow. His elbow is right here, and if I was to draw a line through, which means I will get it. Okay? That's an AP humerus. Alright, now, I'll mark it, right? Shielding exposure. Now, what I need you to do is put your hand on your stomach for me. Good. I'll bring him up. And now I'm looking at that elbow. Let me just bring it down just a little bit, just a taste. Stay nice and tall. I have his shoulder still. I have his elbow, and there's a shadow of his elbow. It's mid-shaft, lateral humerus. Right marker, exposure. Shielding exposure. All right, go ahead and have a seat. Relax. Now we're going to look at his left arm, because the truck, I don't know what the dog bit his arm. He was screaming, I don't know. So I want to make sure my tube is out of the way before he runs into it again. While he's over, I'll bring it all the way over. Now I'm going to look at his forearm. I'll go down for his elbow. For his elbow, I'm going to use a conventional. What I want is his arm to go down the length of it. So I want you to go ahead and straighten out your arm with your palm up. Lift your arm up again. Now you want his elbow to be in the center of his cassette. And what I do is I want to center right there on my cassette. Technically, if you use to shoot that, you'll get it. It's a little sloppy. So what I would do is I want this line to go down the length of my arm. And I want to tighten it in, still not sacrificing the length of the cassette.
So you do this one diagram?
No.
No?
Not just yet. What marker would I put here?
Left.
Shielding. Cool. Now we're going to do the oblique. So now I'm going to have Brian actually
right?
Yeah. roll his arm this way. And by him rolling his arm, it'll create a 45-degree angle. Marker, shielding, exposure.
Just
Now,
have him like lean back and then just overextend the hand.
Perfect. Now I want you to go ahead and put your hand flat. Palm down, 45-degree angle, marker, shielding, exposure.
Lateral thing?
That's the other thing. That's the medial rotation.
And the other one was lateral, right?
External rotation. And now I'm going to say, Brian, I want you to make a muscle. Yeah, I want you to bring your arm down. No, you're good. Marker, shielding, exposure. Make sure to get the lateral. He's at a 90-degree plane. His wrist is lateral. See it?
Been working out, bro. Not at all. It's natural.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and look at his forearm. So what I'm going to say is, Mr. Brian, I want you to straighten out your palm. And then I'm going to center mid-shaft, which is roughly here. Now, if you notice, my cassette is now diagonal. I'm just going to open it up. I have his wrist. I have his elbow, which is right here. So I have a third of here, a third of here. Left, shielding, exposure.
A third of the hand?
Yeah, so because you want to
How
get
much
the-
do you want up here?
It's about a third. So his elbow here, okay, third. See, some people would do it this way.
You
See
want to
that?
get all that?
Then you'd have to.
So now you're gonna second guess yourself because you're gonna cheat your wrist for shortening your elbow. So instead of trying to make that terrible decision, you do that. Bring it back just a little bit. It's always like a decision. What would you take? A Beamer versus a Mercedes?
Ooh.
Let's make it hard.
Mercedes.
Would you take the M5, or would you take the SLS? What is it? Is it the 5, the one with the doors that pop up?
Oh, it's, I thought SLS 65. I don't know.
Is it it's like the... Alright, now we're going to go ahead and bend the wrist, bend your elbow, bring your arm down, and again, cattle corner. You want to make sure his wrist stays straight. And you want to open up your collimation and tighten it down. Again, having your horizontal beam to go down the length of his arm. You have a shadow of his elbow. You have more than enough on his wrist. You're not cheating anything. That marker, shielding, exposure. In this plane, you have a lateral elbow, a lateral forearm, a lateral wrist. And go, okay, lateral. And if you were to do this, take it back. That's a lateral.
Here, let me help you.
There you go. That would be a lateral thing. Laterals, laterals, lateral. Okay?
Every time.
So, there's one more or two more views I do before I put you guys loose. And this will be the humerus on the table. So again, I will move my tattoo out of the way and I'll say, Mr. Brian, the reason why he couldn't do this is because you're starting to get a little lightheaded on his feet. So we say, you know what? You can sit him down and still do this on the bucky. Or you can get him to relax on the table. So he wants to relax on the table. I'll say, sir, I want you to go ahead and roll up to your left side. And again, diagonally placing my set. I want you to go ahead and roll back for me. Bam.
Sorry.
Now I want you to bring your arm out towards here. And I'm going to just adjust my set. And now, the only thing I have to do is see my beam, my horizontal line. I'm going to turn it to go down the length of his arm. And now I have a elbow. I have a shoulder. His APs, palm is up. Left, shielding, marker.
You're right.
Right. Yes, right. My other left. Now I just need you to go ahead and put your hand on your stomach. You just bring it out just a little bit, so now that line's still going down the length of his arm. Right?
Right.
Shielding, exposure. Okay? His shoulder's here, not up here. So if his shoulder's here and you draw a straight line through it, you're going to get it. Be careful when people wear sweaters. Be careful when people wear jackets, because people have a tendency of collimating to the size of the puffiness of the article of clothing, not the part.
At the it's cold that day during the test and your partner's wearing a sweatshirt, just ask them to take it off. Or just be courteous for your fellow student.
Jewelry as well.
That might be on our